Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I know I am. We've got some Skate 3 gameplay for you guys, throwing it back to the OG timeline. And if you're having a fantastic day, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. You will be visited by the ghost of Christmas past, and he will take you to the past where you will have to watch your most embarrassing moment from middle school on repeat until you die. Yeah, that's right, so press the like button. What's going on, guys? As you can tell from the title, today's story is going to be a little bit different. Basically, one time I was talking trash on Xbox to this kid I went to school with, and his mom showed up and tried to convince my mom to ban video games from my house. You know, just a typical Tuesday. I'm not gonna lie, this story is when I realized that my trash-talking abilities low-key had superpowers, and I should probably pursue a career in internet trash-talking. It ended up working out, though. Regardless, guys, it should be a pretty entertaining video, so as I've said, press the like button, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So back in my 8th grade year of high school, I had just really gotten into playing Call of Duty online, and at the time, I think Black Ops 1 was like the newest Call of Duty. Yes, I'm a little bit old, I know that, but I really like to play Call of Duty. And at the time, like, I didn't have a bunch of online friends. I really just played from people from school like a normal person, you know? I hadn't yet forgotten the rule, which is don't talk to strangers on the internet. I'm surprised I never got kidnapped, to be honest. As a kid, I really deserved it. Like, I was talking to grown men on the internet that I didn't know, telling them where I lived so I could get monitors sent to my house. It really is a miracle I am not, like, dead in the bottom of a ditch somewhere. Regardless, though, I would just play Call of Duty with, like, some of my friends from school, and it was a pretty good time. However, like, this is right when gaming started to become super popular, like, in school, and everybody started playing video games. I'm old enough to remember when it was weird to admit that you had an Xbox, okay? And I still was a proud gamer back then. But all of a sudden, everybody and their mom started, like, getting Xboxes and playing Call of Duty, so, like, this tight-knit group of kids that I went to school with that we used to game with suddenly just became like everyone and their mom playing Call of Duty together. And there was one kid in particular that just for whatever reason did not like me. Like, don't get me wrong, I can be pretty annoying sometimes. Don't get it twisted. I'm not claiming that I'm perfect by any means. But this kid just really didn't have a reason not to like me. He just didn't like me. To the point where, like, if I would join the Xbox Live party to play Xbox and he was in there, he would just constantly talk trash about how bad I was and how annoying my voice was and how crappy my mic was. Like, he would just basically try to get me to leave the second I would try to come hang out with my friends. And for the most part, I like to think that I'm a pretty chill dude. I'm not just gonna, like, come out the cut and insult you for no reason. But if every time I'm joining the Xbox Live party, the first thing out of your mouth is, ugh, wait, to go, I guess all of our good games are done for the day, then, like, dog, you're kinda asking for some beef. I can't help it. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure this kid knew that, like, I was willing to talk trash back, because he would basically leave me alone in, like, the Xbox parties. And anyways, one day, I joined the party to play with my friends, and, like, in a COD lobby, you could only have 6 people, and it's me, a couple other kids, a kid named Frank, and then the kid that I don't get along with. So there's 3 other kids involved, and Frank was, like, this super sweet kid who didn't have a lot of friends. He wasn't very popular, but he was super fun to play video games with, and, you know, I really liked Frank. He was a good guy. I liked him a lot. That being said, I don't know what was, like, in the kid who I didn't get along with's, you know, soup this morning. I don't know if his grandma peed in it or what, but clearly something had been in his cornflakes that affected his behavior. I'm gonna name the douchey kid something horrible that only people who really hate their kid would name him, like Benjamin. So I'm gonna nickname him Benji for the rest of the video, and if you're named Benji, listen, it's not my fault that your parents hate you. And Benjamin starts talking trash almost immediately to Frank. And I was made for trash talking, alright? It really doesn't get under my skin that hard. It's super hard to tilt me while talking trash. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, video games can make me mad, but trash talking, not so much. But Frank, like I said, is a pretty sensitive kid. So we're just sitting in this party, and I don't know if the kid, like, was trying to look cool or what, but he just starts tearing into Frank as soon as we start playing. Like, we're playing Search and Destroy, and there's a 1v4. Frank kills 3 people by himself and dies to the last guy. And, you know, Benji just decides to go into the mic and be like, oh my god, you're so useless. No wonder everyone at school hates you, you garbage Call of Duty player. Which, I mean, listen, everybody talks trash to their friends on the internet sometimes, but, like, we didn't know this kid that well. I would play with Frank more often, and this kid was not around a lot. So it was just out of nowhere and definitely a little too mean to say somebody to, like, you don't know very well. Just imagine, dude, it's your first time, like, playing soccer with some kid. He misses the ball. You just walk up to him. Oh my god, they might as well chop your leg off, you blind monkey. I would rather have Helen Keller as a teammate, you garbage kid. Just kidding. You know we get along. It's like, dog, I don't know you. It's kind of whack. So Frank gets really quiet, and like I can kind of tell that it bugged him, but whatever. You know, we end up winning that game of Search and Destroy, and the entire time, this kid Benji is talking trash to like me and Frank exclusively. He's going after me because apparently my skins on my guns are ugly, which I mean, all right, bro. Yeah, you really got me. The developers coded the design wrong. Ugh. And then he's just going in on Frank. Frank was a little bit of a chunkier kid, and he's saying, like, obviously your thumbs are too greasy with Dorito dust to actually control it right. And, like, low-key, Frank was not playing that bad. And obviously, like I said, he's kind of a sensitive guy. So after the game, Frank is like, yo, I'm not going to play. I'll stay in the party, but you guys can get someone better because clearly, you know, I'm just doing a bad job. And the mean kid, Benji, is like, oh, thank God I don't have to play with this loser, dude. My cool points were going down by the minute. And that finally is the point where Frank has enough, and he's like, guys, I'm gonna get off. I feel like crap. I'm sorry. I'll play later. And, like, he leaves the party. And I've been trying to be cool all day. I'm trying to avoid the beef, but if you're gonna make this kid that, like, very obviously isn't bad at Call of Duty and is a good person upset and leave because you can't keep your mouth shut, I got a problem. So I messaged Frank on Xbox, and I'm like, look, if you want me to go in on this kid right now, I'll do it. And he's like, yeah, that'd be sick. I'm not gonna lie. So, before anyone in the comments is like, oh, you just decided to be mean for no reason, Frank told me to, and everybody knows if someone named Frank tells you to do something, you can't say no. So Frank joins back into the party, and I start trash talking, you know, he fails a clutch on Call of Duty, and I'm like, Jesus, you suck, dude. You called Frank Helen Keller, but you're really out here walking around like you drank drain cleaner, you garbage kid, and like, you know, just talking trash, which is what I do, and, no one ever really had, like, talked trash back to this kid before because he's flabbergasted. He doesn't know what to say. I always avoided it because I was just trying to, like, keep the Xbox party cool, you know? It's not fun to listen to your friends fighting on Xbox, but he made Frank upset, you know? I was pissed off at this point. I'm not in a good mood, whatever. So I start talking trash, and he starts to get, like, emotional, you know? You know when you start screaming and, like, your voice is cracking because you're so emotional? You're, like, illogically screaming. He is screaming into his microphone about how I'm a loser and I'm never gonna do anything. He is so pissed off. And all I had to do was say that he failed a clutch at Call of Duty. So, like, this kid's got anger issues. And trust me, I get mad at video games, but I really didn't say anything that bad. And he is just losing his mind, screaming into the microphone. So Benji is screaming into the microphone, and I hear, like, the anger in his voice. So I do what anyone does, and after he's done screaming about how much I suck, I get really close to the mic and I go, okay, and like that's all I say back to his screaming, and that's when he just loses it. I hear stuff getting thrown. He had a Connect mic too. I don't understand who can talk trash with a Connect mic. Sorry that I can hear your whole goddamn house having prayer on Sunday, bro. Anyways, we're hearing him slowly destroy his room, and that's when it happens. We hear a sound that nobody likes to hear on Xbox. It's a mom's voice on the microphone, and she's like, what's going on? And obviously he's super upset, and he starts saying that I made him upset, and like I was talking trash to him and bullying him on Xbox, and how I'm ruining his day. And so I'm like, ah, shit. So sure enough, we hear the mom be like, well, do you want me to say something? And he doesn't respond. So she like walks to the room, and it's a Connect mic, so we can hear all this going on, and she's like, which one of you guys was talking trash to my son, you know? And it's dead silent in the party because, you know, that's nobody wants to snitch and nobody wants to say anything, you know? So thankfully my brother in arms stays silent. Nobody snitches right away, and that's when she goes, fine, well, if you want me to just take this to the school to handle bullying, then I can write down all your gamer tags and we'll figure this out. And, like, you know, she doesn't say gamer tags because, like, moms don't know how to do that. She says names, but I don't know. Yeah, it was a gamer tag. That's what it was. I can't say it wrong, okay? I'm not a mom. I can't call an Xbox a Nintendo. I just can't. Anyways, she makes, like, Benji pull up the party, and she starts writing down the names. And my gamer tag at the time was pretty embarrassing. I'll just say, like, a variation of it. It was something along the lines of, like, Steelers Kid 1999. It wasn't very good. So she says my name, you know? And I just happen to be, like, one of the last people in the party. And when she gets to my name, one of the other kids in the party goes, wait, it's Ryan Agnew. It's Ryan Agnew. There, I said it. It's Ryan Agnew. I'm sorry, Ryan. Ryan, I didn't mean to. It's Ryan Agnew. I'm so sorry. I don't want to snitch, dude, but I can't get in trouble, dude. My parents are going to take away my Xbox if there's any problems. It's Ryan Agnew. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, shit, I just got snitched on. And I don't blame my friends because, you know, when you're young, like 8th grade, and a mom is screaming at you, you're just kind of desperate to get rid of the situation. And getting in trouble is not fun. Losing your Xbox is not fun. I'm not really pressed. I'm just saying I'll go down for the boys, okay? Like, I might not do 20 years in prison, but if I have to have a soccer mom mad at me, I'll take one for the team. Anyways, the soccer mom is all pressed, and she's like, oh, well, Ryan, who do you think you are to be bullying my son? And I just stay silent because, like, I'm not playing games. She's like, well, we'll just see what your parents think when I come tell them. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird that, you know, you would come to my parents. I thought you were just going to tell the school. I can explain to the dean trash talking on the internet, you know. I'm not opposed to doing that, but I don't know if my boomer parents are really going to understand, but oh well, this lady doesn't have my address. I'm not worried, or so I think. There's no way this lady's going to show up at my house. She doesn't know where I live. She just knows my name. I don't know how this lady does it. But about 20 minutes later of still playing Xbox, there's a knock on my door. And I don't go answer it because I'm a kid at the time. I don't answer the door. What do you want me to do? Oh, you want someone to buy cable? Sorry, I'm 12. But then I hear I get called down, and I go down, and there's like a very angry woman standing next to my mom with her hands on her hips. And she's like, are you Ryan? And I'm like, yeah, you know, and my mom looks at me and she's like, why have you been bullying kids on Xbox? I didn't know that you were talking to people. Do we need to take it away? And I'm like, I wasn't bullying a kid on Xbox, you know? And the angry lady, the Karen, is like, well, then how do you explain my son being upset? Nothing gets him upset. And I look at the lady, and at this point, I've just had enough. And I go, well, your kid's an asshole, so that's why, you know? Nobody likes being around him. And I go off on her kid in front of the mom because I don't care. What are you gonna do? You're at my house? Oh, you were mean to my son on Xbox. Yeah, and I'll do it again. Some kids deserve to get made fun of sometimes. I can't help it. Maybe if your son wasn't getting appeased like an angry little German man in 1942, he'd be a better person. But he's not. So every now and then, somebody's gotta slap him in his metaphorical face so he realizes that the world doesn't revolve around him. I still firmly believe that, by the way, man. If a kid's a jerk, someone's got to beat him up a little bit. It's just a fact. I know that's unpopular, all right? I know there's comments being written, oh, that's not true. I used to be a jerk, and then I got the crap kicked out of me, and I realized being nice is the move. So sometimes you just need your ego checked. That's okay. The mom, though, does not take me calling her son mean names to her face very well and is like, this is why we need to ban violent video games. I can't believe that games like this are teaching our kids how to be violent bullies. And I'm writing my state senator about how video games need to be banned because they're corrupting the youth. And she's like trying to get my mom on board to write a letter with her, bruh. And my mom's like agreeing with her. She's like, you're right. I haven't seen the side of the kids since before they started playing violent video games. And I'm like, whoa, 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 ladies. Don't get me wrong. Call of Duty's kind of violent, but Call of Duty didn't teach me how to make fun of people. Not once in the Call of Duty tutorial are they like, yes, and if he has glasses, call him Four Eyes Freddy. Like, that just doesn't happen. Violent video games don't make you a bad person. In fact, I think the video games that have made me like the worst person, you know, definitely Minecraft. I've done some psychopathic stuff in Minecraft. Anyways, there's a Karen and my mom agreeing that apparently it's my fault that kids are like evil and video games are corrupting the youth, and I don't understand how this started, okay? I was just making fun of a kid on Xbox, and now apparently I've got moms writing letters to senators. I have that power over people. So whatever, like, I'm just sitting there, and my mom and this mom are, like, going back and forth about how bad video games are, and then my mom looks at me, and she's like, you should have been nicer. Obviously, he comes from a good family, and I'm like, you don't even know this kid, dude. You're acting like he wasn't just making another kid cry on Xbox 20 minutes before I made him cry. Whatever, dude. The moms are, like, just kind of standing there talking about how terrible kids are now, so I'm like, can I go? They say yes. I don't get in very much trouble because I think my mom was like, well, you live and you learn, and now we're gonna make the world a better place, or whatever crap moms believe. I don't know, man. Live, laugh, love. So after a bit, you know, that kid's mom leaves, and my mom comes in, and she's basically like, well, you and her son get to talk to the school on Monday about being nicer to each other online. And I'm like, what? And my mom proceeds to inform me that she had figured out where we live because her husband is like some whatever at my middle school, some office whatever. I don't know, dude. He worked in the office at middle school. I wasn't going to remember this dude's job title. And basically, I wasn't going to get in any trouble at school as long as me and her son gave a presentation to my grade about how we need to be nicer to each other online and how violent video games aren't always a good thing. I don't know why my mom wanted me to lie to everybody, but what was I supposed to do? So sure enough, the next day we get called into like this backup auditorium. It wasn't the main gym. It was like this theater thing that we had. And we go in, you know, and the kid that I don't like, that I've beefed with all year, is standing there with his mom and his dad. And they like see me, and they're basically like, you guys have to be nice and talk about the benefits of making friends online, and like, you guys should be friends after this and all this stuff. And listen, I'm just saying, I've definitely got the upper hand on this dude. Keep in mind, I'm the reason that this happened. He was a crying little baby who told on his mommy, and his mommy came to my house. So I've got the upper hand, you know? And like, he just won't make eye contact with me, which I'm not gonna lie, pretty awkward. You're about to have to give a presentation on why bullying is bad because your mommy went and yelled at the kids on Xbox. That's yikes. Regardless, this presentation starts and like the kid's mom is presenting this stuff that doesn't even make sense. She's like, this kid used to be a good kid, and then he started playing video games and committed armed robbery. It's like, I'm pretty sure there's a couple steps in there that might be missing, you know? Like, I don't know, the fact that he was 8 before he started playing video games and maybe he just grew up to be a criminal. Not really sure how that's video games' fault, but whatever. Soccer moms can delude themselves into thinking video games need to get banned because, I don't know, Martin crashed on his Xbox or whatever. After his mom presents about why video games have to be banned, they make me and my friend get up there and like do this awkward speech into the microphone about how we used to not like each other, and then we were nice on Xbox, and now we're friends, and they, like, make us hug, but I don't like this kid, so it's a very awkward forced hug, and, like, I'm not a giant hugger of dudes anyways, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, girls are soft, they're easy, you know, they smell good. Like, hugging girls is nice, but dudes kind of smell bad, and it's weird if you don't know them. Like, I don't know this kid very well, I don't want to hug him, but they make us, like, hug each other, and then they send everybody back to class, and later that day, you know, I still made fun of people on Xbox. It didn't change anything, but I'm sure that soccer mom still is telling people all the time how she changed everyone's life with her speech in middle school about how, you know, video games are bad. But, yeah, moral of the story is, if you're a parent out there and your kid is going crazy over video games, you might just be a bad parent. It might not be Xbox's fault, and, yeah, be careful who you talk trash to on the internet, because their mom might show up at your house and make you hug your worst enemy in front of your middle school, and that's just life. Anyways, guys, this has been an incredibly long video, so sorry about that. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought of the video. Subscribe if you're new, and turn on those notifications. Today's notification shout out, ladies and gentlemen, goes to Logan Power. Big thank you for having your notifications on. I do really appreciate it. And yeah, get yourself the merch. Use code Scrubby at the G Fuel checkout, and don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'll see you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.